Alrighty, so I'm just going to use a newsletter that I already made for the Visual Arts Society, and I'm going to show you how to make this interactive. It's pretty straightforward, and so what we're going to do is you're going to go to your Windows, and you're going to go to Interactive, and choose Bookmarks, also Buttons and Forms, and we're going to go to Interactive, and choose hyperlinks, and we're going to go to interactive, and we're going to choose page transitions. And now that you've got all those open, we're going to make just a little shape. Actually, just the heck with it, I'll make a square. And I'm going to fill that with black. And I'm going to shrink it. And this is my little arrow. Now I can take that and put it on my master pages. And I'm going to flip it horizontal. And now I've got on all of my pages. I'm going to do it on my B pages too. Command C, go to my B pages, Command V. And I'm going to drop those in. And now I have those on every page. Now if I go to my master page and I click this and I want to make that a button. And actually, I think I want to make it a page transition. I'm going to make it a button. I'm going to go on click. I'm going to add an action, and I'm going to say go to next page. And so I'm just going to call this button next page. And click OK. Then I'm going to go over here and choose this one. Do the same thing. I would like that to be a button. I'm going to call it previous page. On click, I would like it to go to previous page. Now, instead of having to redo that on my B masters, I can actually just copy these and do edit, paste into place. And now when I go here and I click, I can let me do export real quick. Export. I'm going to choose an interactive PDF, save it to my desktop. Hit save, include spreads, and click OK. Now if I go to my desktop and I open that, and if I click here, it will jump pages for me or go backwards. And that can be any color. Now there's other stuff you can do too. That's pretty neat. You can also add hyperlinks. So let's say if I wanted to say, all right, I'm going to put this back in normal mode. And let's say I want this as this. Book designed by margaretpoplin.com. I could say like, all right, well, I would like this to be a hyperlink. So I'm going to click that and say hyperlink. And I would like this to go to HTTP, new hyperlink. I would like this to link to margaretpoplin.com. I would like it to be an invisible rectangle. And I'm going to click OK. And that should be fine. So if I go to export again and do my VAS and I hit replace, it's taking a minute, just thinking about it. If I click that, it goes to my website. So a great way to make that work for you. You could also do any kind of hyperlinks. You could do page transitions, like, okay, well, let's say I'd like my page transitions to dissolve, or let's just say fade. Oh, actually, you can do a page turn. That's pretty cool. So if I were to export this as a Swift file, this is for Flash, and save it to the desktop, this is pretty cool. You can actually, whenever this loads, it will turn the page. That's only for Flash, though. It only works for Flash. But if you're uploading your book as a Flash file, that's kind of a neat little thing. Or you can still click. I mean, the click's still available. But the turn's kind of fun, I think. It's dorky, but it's fun. So you can really do all kinds of things. You can have just various, like, all right, well, I'd like my pages to fade. If I export this again as just a regular old interactive PDF like we've been doing. This is also great for doing portfolios. So you can set up your portfolio how you want. Let's see. Bookmarks, you can do different things. You can say like, all right, I'd like to make a new bookmark. And I'd like this to be home. And I'd like this to be spread 1. Etc. When I export it again as an interactive, you should be able to have those bookmarks on the side of the PDF. Like if you've ever seen PDFs where they have the bookmarks where you can jump to sections, that's how you set up a bookmark. So when I hit here, it'll have my various bookmarks. So fun stuff. That's pretty much it. You can do all kinds of different stuff. You could say like, all right, well, I'd like this to be a text field or whatever. If I click on that and right over it, it'll let me make that a text field. Hyperlinks are exactly what they sound like. You can add any kind of hyperlink to anything. And page transitions are just what you would like this to do when you're switching pages. Typically, those work better for Flash than they do interactive. But if you wanted to upload your children's book as like a Flash file, the only problem with Flash files is they don't run on iPads or Macs. And they're being not supported on a whole lot of stuff. But you might be able to... Yeah, you can export as HTML now. But eventually it'll all switch over to HTML5. We're just not quite there yet. So that's the basics of interactive. It just lets you set up some simple stuff. You can make home pages, buttons. You can say like, all right, well, I'd like this to be... let me make a little house. This is gonna, you want to align these and make them look nice, but let's say that's a house. And I want that to be there. As long as I set up a button for it and say, all right, I would like to make a new button. Actually, I probably have to make that a Pathfinder. Where's my Pathfinder? Objects, Pathfinder. And if I make a new button, I can say, all right, I would like this to, on click, I would like it to go to the very first page. So what that will do is whenever I click on it, it will jump all the way back to the home page. All these different buttons have different options. You can choose on click, on rollover, etc. You can have it zoom if you want. You can have it go to destination. When you click go to a destination, it'll let you pick a page, and you can say where you would like that to go. You can say, I'd like it to go to a URL. I would like it to connect to a video. I can have it connect to an animation. So there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do. It's pretty simple. You may want to play with it, but that's the basics of how to set up an interactive book. It's very straightforward. It's not complicated, and it's pretty fun.